All right, everyone. Good evening. I would like to welcome you. Welcome everyone to our Parks Advisory Board meeting on Tuesday, July 6, 2021. Good to see everybody. Thank you for attending. First, what we're going to do is going to start with our roll call to see who we have in our virtual meeting today. From District 1, we have Miss Anita Bellinger. From District 2, Miss Wanda Ididapo. And did I say it correctly? I'm sure I didn't. If you could correct me, give me the correct pronunciation.
Ididapo. The I's sound like E's, but Wanda's fine. I'm present.
Perfect. Thank you, Miss Wanda. From District 3, we have Mr. Alan Kelly.
Present.
From District 4, we have Miss Barbara Oliver.
Present.
From District 5, we have Mr. Johnny Clark. From District 6, we have Mr. George Oliver.
Present.
And from District 7, we have Mr. Rodney Jones. And then the mayor's appointee, Mr. David Rector. And Ms. Bellinger, I know you just came in, and from District 1, we have Miss Anita Bellinger.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. We do have a quorum for this meeting. Also present, we'll do some small introductions. I hope everyone received a copy of the agenda. I would like to, first item to approve is I would like to have an approval for the agenda minutes. The agenda.
This is George Oliver. I approve.
Do we have a second?
This is Barbara, I second.
Thank you. So we have a first by Mr. George Oliver and second by Ms. Barbara. Thank you so much. The next item on our agenda is for our introductions. We have two great members of our staff currently on this call this evening. We have our interim director, Parks and Recreation Director, Ms. Joy Marshall. And we have our Parks Manager, Mr. Terrence Abrams. I'll give Ms. Joy some time to introduce herself.
Good evening, everyone. This is Joy Marshall, serving as Interim Director for Parks and Recreation. I've been here just a few weeks, so learning the ropes, and very excited to be here with you all to run through this agenda.
And next we have Mr. Terrence Abrams, who is our Recreation Manager.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Terrence Abrams. I'm the interim recreation manager, and pleased to be here with you. And looking forward to working with you all. Thank you.
Terrence and Joy have both been with the city since its start, so we are very happy to have them on our team. We'll move forward with the next item on our agenda, and that is just our current reopening status. As board members, I'm sure you guys get questions about our current reopening status. Right now, all of our parks are currently open for passive use. We are not doing any field rentals right now, but we have opened up for pavilion rentals. Playgrounds are back open as well, but still activities are passive. Within the last 2 weeks, we also opened our outdoor basketball courts. So our outdoor courts are open as well, minus one court that is under a small repair, and that's the Welcome All Outdoor Court. As far as the services that we are able to offer during this time, we have opened our Welcome All Recreation Center for a few services. Fitness, we still have our walking track that is available from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Our weight room and cardio room with very limited capacity numbers is open as well from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then we also have our swimming pool that is open for lap swim only. Traditionally during the summer, I know everyone is more used to our pool being open for open swim, but this is a little different. This is more exercise focused, and this is for our lap swim. You are able to go onto our website, www.cityofsouthfultonga.gov, and go to Parks and Recreation, reserve a lane under the registration tab from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Once summer camp is over, we hope to expand those hours to accommodate more morning participants and patrons. Summer camp is currently going on as well at 2 of our sites, Burdette Recreation Center as well as Welcome All Recreation Center. So both sites currently have summer camp going on for ages 5 through 12. We are completely at capacity currently right now and throughout to the rest of the summer. We are in week 5, so we have about 3 more weeks to go forward to until school starts back on August 9th. And we will kick off with our after-school program, our traditional after-school program that we've offered. I'll stop here. Does anyone have any questions or additions or anything to add or ask about the reopening portion?
Hi, this is Wanda from D1. Sorry, excuse me, D2. Apologies. But are you going to speak at some point about the tennis court, South Fulton Tennis Center, and the status of that reopening, or is that going to be later?
Nope, that is under, actually, we can go ahead and segue to that if we don't have any more questions on kind of our reopening status. But yes, we are going to cover that in our next portion.
Thanks.
All right, any questions, comments about reopening? We want to keep you guys updated as much as possible as your direct connection to our community. So if you have any questions that may come up as we're going through, please utilize the chat and we can answer those at the end. Next item on our agenda is an update of the URA projects and the facility improvements that we currently have undergone. First, I'll start with our South Fulton Tennis Center. Our South Fulton Tennis Center is nearing completion. They're putting up some of the final equipment. The courts are actually complete. They're just installing some of the equipment, the nets, some of the polling. So that should be completed by this week. We're looking for a reopening around early fall. So just stay tuned for that notification to come out through our communications department for the tennis center. We have an RFP that was out for solicitation for our tennis center operations. That RFP has closed and is currently under review from the evaluation committee. So we have the tennis center. We're very excited. It will be one of the only facilities in our region that has 22 fully rebuilt courts. So it's a difference between kind of just putting that top surfacing on that we've kind of done in the past. And these are complete rebuilds. So we're very excited to add this back into our facilities as it's been down for a while.
I'm curious regarding the tennis centers and the RFP process. So now that that is over, is there like a committee that's going to vet those RFPs and make a decision? Is there a time frame on that? And yeah.
Yes, so the proposals are being reviewed by an evaluation committee. That committee was pre-selected prior to the RFPs going out. They are reviewing each proposal, and once the decision has been made, that will be made public and has to go before council.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. One of our next projects that we've completed is in District 1. In District 1, we completed our outdoor fitness equipment that was installed at Trammell Crow Park. That equipment has been installed and is completely functional now. We also started the renovations of the Trammell Crow Lake. Unfortunately, due to the storm, we had some trees that did come down to block that pathway. Those are currently being removed. So I wanted to keep you updated on that project. We have some small projects, the new playground at Sandtown Park. We did some painting at Wilkerson Mill Park. We've did some cleaning up at Burdette and did some very small projects, but we hope for a big overhaul that's going to start in the fall. But I wanted to update you on some of those major completed projects, which were the tennis center as well as the outdoor fitness equipment. Any other questions?
Hey, this is Barbara. I have a question about Wilkerson Park.
Yes.
I was over at Wilkerson Park yesterday, just walking around
Okay.
the track. And I noticed that there's some, look like there's some new, construction has went on as far as, look like you're gonna add some more equipment or something.
Yes,
There's
ma'am.
some- Okay, can you
Yes,
tell me a
so
little bit about that?
yes, so we are going to install outdoor fitness equipment to those locations. So you should have seen the concrete pads. There were 2 separate concrete pads that have been installed. We will start in the next couple of weeks installing the outdoor fitness equipment to that location. This is the same equipment that it mirrors the one at Trammell Crow. So it has a functional fitness area with more functional pieces, plyometric pieces, and then it also has elliptical low impact pieces on the larger pad.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any questions or any improvements or any projects they would like an update on? Okay, we'll
Are there
move.
any,
Go
are
ahead.
there any updates so that's gonna be Wilkerson Park and then Trammell Crow? Are there any, projected, additions for those, for that equipment at other parks, i.e. Welcome Mall or, Cliftondale parks?
Not right now. Currently, for Cliftondale, we're looking at options to do a senior walking trail in that area. We're going to repurpose that first baseball field once the renovations of the facility are complete. Repurpose that first baseball field to do a senior walking zone. If you're from that area, of course, Miss Wanda, a lot of our seniors utilize the back parking lot spaces and the fields. So we wanted to provide a space that is front towards the park and highly visible for seniors. So that is currently under the development stages and planning stages.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next thing on our agenda is just our fall programs and events. This is a time where we're going to update you on some programs that we have going on, but we would like for the committee to give at least 1 or 2 special events that they think that their district would like to see this coming fall. This is a great time for us to start planning our fall and winter catalog. And before we put everything out, we want to get your opinion and your view on some of the special events that you've seen in the past and maybe some special events that you want to see coming up. We just finished our Juneteenth celebration, which took place 2 weekends ago. We had a week full of activities that were various locations throughout the city that ended with a concert here at the Southwest Art Center. Unfortunately, we were rained out, so we had to bring the event indoors, but we want to utilize more of our outdoor areas for special events. What we have on our schedule for the fall, what we're planning on is youth football, youth basketball, as well as our holiday event, our normal holiday event, holiday extravaganza. Last year it was virtual. This year we'll bring it back to in person. Our Halloween event that we normally do, and as well as partnering for some back to school events. Well, if you have any ideas of some events that you would like to see in your community, in your area, in your district, or citywide, please share them. We can start vetting them and going through the projects and going through the event logistics. Anybody want to share?
The Halloween event that you're talking about, excuse me, is that gonna only be in one park?
Traditionally, it's been at one location, but we can look at expanding. We play with options of doing a trunk or treat or something where we can do a more large scale while keeping everyone safe.
Okay.
But that's a great idea, Ms. Barbara. We can look at expanding that event to a little bit, some more areas and more districts throughout the city.
I just mentioned that because there's so many kids in all the different districts.
Mhm.
If they didn't have to leave their area, they could have something in their own district would be good. At the same time, I know that may be a security issue, trying to protect everybody at all the different parks, so that may be a problem.
Yeah, but that's definitely something that we can vet through the team and see if we can at least add one or two more locations. So it's a little bit more spread out throughout the city.
Yeah, okay.
Anyone else have any just insight on some programs and events that you would like to see in your district or citywide this fall?
This is Alan Kelly, District 3. I was just wondering about the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. Is there plans to, and maybe too late, I guess, in the year for it to reopen as far as concerts and, for the fall or anything?
So once the facility transitions over to the city, they're still in the negotiation stages.
Oh,
So once
okay. I
that
didn't
takes
realize
place
that.
and there's a full transition, once there's a full transition over to the city, we'll look at starting to do some programming out there, definitely. If you weren't around for we kind of did a preview with the high school, South Fulton High School graduations. That was the Parks and Recreation Department that put on those events over that weekend. So we saw about 12,000 people over that 3-day span, 2 graduations a day. All 5 South Fulton high schools plus 1, which was Hateville Charter, which is the charter school in the area. So that was a great preview of that facility. So we were happy that we were able to do that for our community and our high school students.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi, this is Wanda. I was wondering for D2 in the past, we used to have a run, and it was done by, I think, Peachtree Track Club, or whatever that's called, Peachtree Track Club or something like that. But they would run around Wolf Creek and Enon and back to Merck, down miles, so on and so forth. And I think they did it like for maybe 2 or 3 years. And I don't think they did it when, of course, last year they didn't do it for COVID. But I guess my question is, I don't think the city, the first time it happened, I don't even think our city knew about it. They just did it. And then the second time they knew about it. But is that something that the city would be willing to do and host, like a run for the city?
Oh, definitely. I think that, that may be a great project, Ms. Wanda, for us to start look out to do. Something that will take a lot of planning, just coordinating through DOT and our police department and our special events and fire. But I think that's something that's definitely doable. I'm familiar with the race with the Atlanta Track Club.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yep. It was at the Atlanta Track Club, and they utilized kind of Wolf Creek and some other areas for the race. So we can look at doing something more on see what place in the city that we want to host this event. But I think that is a great event to look forward to.
Yeah, I think
next year is our 5-year for South Fulton. So maybe a good event for us to have for Parks and Recreation and the advisory board.
Yeah, and it can be a 5K for 5 years.
Oh, I like that idea. I like it. I'm writing that one down.
Yes.
Yes. And that can be a project for the team. I really like that idea as well. Thank you.
Yes.
Anyone else? We have some great ideas flowing. Anyone else want to join in and kind of give something that they think, some insight on what your district and what other residents may want to see?
This is Anita from District 1. I was just wondering, what are your back to school activities? What do you already have planned? Because I like that idea, given that the kids are going back in larger numbers in person.
So we have some organizations that have reached out to us to host some back to school events. So we're vetting some of those special event applications. And and exactly where and what location those will take place. So normally our back to school has consisted of just a drive-through, especially with COVID. So that seems to be the theme for most of the events. But as we start securing those dates, we'll definitely share those with the board.
Looks
Thank
like
you.
okay, sorry. Looks like Wolf Creek would be a great location if you were doing it for the entire city and not just by district.
Mm-hmm. Citywide distribution.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll move on to the next portion of our meeting agenda, and that's just an update on the Parks Master Plan. I just want to make sure at every meeting we keep you updated. We have finalized more into the visioning stages. Those presentations will go in front of Mayor and Council very soon. Once that visioning is complete and that presentation is shared, we kind of move to the next phase is discussing implementation of the plan. So we're excited to have Carlos Perez, who has done an amazing job with our Parks Master Plan thus far. We're very excited for the visioning that they have and some of the renderings that they've started to create for the city. So we were eager to share those once they become available to us. We'll do probably a board presentation at some point, just so you're aware of it prior to the meeting. All right. Anyone else have any questions or anything? I'm going to stop here. Our meeting is not as long today just because we have some new staff members aboard, but I wanted to take some time to really get a lot of feedback on how do you think things are going currently? What are some improvements you would like to see made as far as reopening? Any programs and events, as mentioned, as you would like to see? If everyone could kind of share just maybe a brief 1-minute spiel, and we'll move on to our final portion of our meeting, which is just our Parks Advisory Board project, which is park beautification. So we start with District 1. Ms. Bellinger, did you have any updates or feedback?
No, I think it's going well. I don't have any feedback at this time, though. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. Can everyone hear me okay? I just wanted to confirm.
Yes, I hear you perfectly well. So Ms. Bellinger, Harris was kind of off a little bit.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Are you talking now?
think
Because we
you're
can't
muted.
hear anything.
You're muted.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. District 2, Ms. Wanda, did you have anything? I know your main was the tennis court from the previous meeting. We provided that update, but wanted to know if you had anything else to provide or any feedback.
I would like to give some feedback, and I will say, I mean, I did inquire about the tennis courts at South Fulton. You probably picked up that I have a passion for tennis. But there's at the Cliftondale, there's that tennis court, and then there's one at Trammell Crow. I haven't played there recently, but the one at Cliftondale, I guess I would like to know when the city plans to give some attention to that one, at least, to, you know, bring it a little up to par. I know they did a few years ago, and it's back having cracks and little grass weeds in between it, and the net is kind of, you know, torn and tattered. So I'm hopeful that when they finish South Fulton Tennis Center, then they'll get to the outliers. Burdette, I know, has a nice one. And Trammell Crow has a nice one, but I'd like to say that Cliftondale has a nice one too, but I can't say that right now.
Thank you for that feedback. Yes, so we do have some plans to do some small upgrades to that tennis space area. It does not include the actual court itself, but it does include some of the equipment. So you're correct that once we finish this, the South Fulton Tennis Center, we'll move on to our other tennis courts as well. The next one on the list is Trammell Crow and Cliftondale.
Okay.
Yes, Trammell Crow and Cliftondale, yes.
All right. And other than the race, that's really it. And then as that is planning, I'll just let you know that there is a group called the South Fulton Running Partners.
Partners, yes.
Yes, South Fulton Running Partners. And they've been in South Fulton, I think maybe 20 or 30 years, if not longer, probably long, I'm sure it's longer. But anyway, they may be a good one to also kind of catapult off of in terms of putting that together. It would be nice to kind of loop them in if they are in, in agreement to being a part of it. So, yeah.
And we'll develop a small committee to go ahead and start with that plan. And Ms. Wanda, I'll set up a meeting for me and you to speak maybe sometime next week. And then we'll kind of start with some of the initial stages to see what it will take to make that happen here in the city.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Alan Kelly.
You know, my thing is football.
I know.
Because you said you gave me the segue when you said basketball and football. So I almost did a flip when you said football. So that's what I want to hear, what's up and coming. Then we can get registration open, or because I got guys ready to coach, and we want to do everything we can to help the city out. Because I am on the board of one of the youth athletic associations that want to help you guys do the football season. So that's what I want to know about.
Alan, as every time, we definitely want to get our youth back participating in sports. So that is the plan.
Right.
Working with Terrence and Joy and our leadership to kind of drill down that plan and make a presentation. We have some facility use agreements that we're developing currently. Once those are approved, we'll be able to give you kind of that answer on that definite, if we'll be able to move forward with it. But the plan is to offer some youth athletics this fall, definitely, in a safe way.
All right, thank you.
Yep, You're welcome. And hopefully they'll enjoy that new playground up there while they're out there.
All right, thank you.
District 4, Miss Barbara.
I was wondering, since Cedar Grove Park, it doesn't really have a whole lot in that park, and I don't know what the future is for that park as far as upgrading it and making some changes where it's accessible and usable for adults and children. But I was thinking about pickleball. I don't know if anybody, I'm sure people know about maybe pickleball. It's something similar to tennis. And there is on Cedar Grove Park, there is I guess maybe it used to be, maybe it was a football field maybe at one time or something.
I think it was an old baseball field.
Yeah, it's an old field.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering if something could be done with that to upgrade it, where adults and children could use that park. Because like I said, it's not a whole lot in that park, but it could be the surrounding community could benefit from something in that park other than what's there now.
Yes, and you're right on point with that, Ms. Barbara. We have our park master plan consultant is developing some renderings for Cedar Grove to add some features that directly will benefit that community. So once that render is complete, we'll present it at our next visioning stage portion of our parks master plan at one of the council meetings. But yes, definitely plans to do some things at Cedar Grove and to do some upgrades to the area.
The other thing I had sent you, I think I sent you someone I sent, I might have sent it to Tony. It was about the bench, recognition bench. I think a lot of parks have those.
Mhm.
And they're low maintenance as far as the upkeep. The note that I sent was, you know, a lot of times we don't know people in all the different communities, and a bench could be, you know, not donated, could be recognizing someone in the community that people that normally don't know that maybe died during the COVID pandemic. You could probably get Home Depot or Lowe's to donate or build a bench. But I was wondering if something like that could be considered, maybe not only just in Cedar Grove Park, but maybe in all the parks, a bench could be built for some residents.
I love that idea. Let us get with some of our leadership staff and to see exactly how we could make something like that happen. There's some processes kind of behind when we dedicate a piece of property, a piece of city property to a community member. So let's just review some of those protocols and we'll get back to you, Ms. Barber, with that process.
Okay. But those are just my comments about, and you know, I asked you about Wilkinson Park earlier.
Yeah.
But Wilkinson Park is a great park. It does need some improvement, but it's there was quite a few people in the park yesterday when I was there.
Yeah, Wilkinson Mill is a gorgeous park as well.
Yeah. There's some potholes in the drive that need to be fixed.
Okay. We'll get our parks team out there.
Yeah, as you're coming in and going out, there's some potholes that needs to be fixed. Other than that, that's all I have.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Barber. Next, Mr. Johnny Clark. Is he still on the
Yes,
call?
ma'am. How are you? And I hope everybody's having a great day.
Having a great day. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. It's a blessing to be alive. That's all.
Definitely. Do you have any updates or any feedback on District 5?
Not really any updates. I thank you for mentioning, as the young man mentioned football, he also mentioned basketball, because that's my big. I have a boys AAU basketball program that I started about 18, 19 years ago. And so I deal with a lot of the boys in District 5 that we travel and we play. So I get a chance to take them to see some things they probably never would be able to get seen. When do we think we will have it in place where these facilities would be able to be used for practice or anything like that?
So once we move into opening up our facilities for reservations, we'll get with our recreation manager. He'll start outlining that process to schedule any type of practice days from any outside organizations. I will say we are very limited on our gyms that we have access to. We have 3 gyms within the city and 1 will be down for renovations. So very limited on what we can offer outside of our internal basketball program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was really kind of one of my only concerns, just for everyone else to. I hold a life lessons class once a month where I bring men in to speak with them on different subjects. So anyone ever wants to get some young men or know some young men that might be going the wrong way, or even if they're not going the wrong way, just get with me and let me know.
Mr. Clark, I'm going to connect you with our recreation manager, Mr. Terrence Abram. That's a great program. We would like to connect with you on.
Okay. I think Terrence and I have spoken once before. He probably doesn't remember me, but
okay, no worries.
I think we've spoken once before.
Okay, we'll get you guys reconnected.
That'll be great. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Clark. Mr. George Oliver, Mr. Oliver,
Yes, I'm here.
any updates or feedback from District 6?
Well, we don't have anything right now. We're still just running. I was going to say the same thing Mr. Clark had just mentioned. Trying to get these kids back inside these facilities. I've been going to a lot of AAU basketball tournaments recently with my daughter, and we're always traveling up North Georgia to these facilities, and we're just wondering, why we're not having access down here in the South with these facilities. So, and just getting ready back for football. I just want these kids to be back out here. Like Mr. Clark, I also run my own nonprofit organization where I'm actually hosting a summer camp right now in a different city through my co-founder that I've tried to bring over to the city of South Fulton, mentioned to the youth. I'm also partnered with the U.S. Attorney's Office where we're doing a summer intervention program with these juveniles that was placed upon our guidance. So please connect me with the correct people as possible.
Mr. Oliver, Mr. Clark, and Coach Abe, I think it would be great for us to set up a meeting offline just to kind of speak to, getting to some of our teenage boys and identifying some programming, some events. I know we kind of touched on some upcoming events that we're going to host, but I think it'll be great to lean on you guys, Mr. Oliver and Mr. Clark, for some great events that will attract our teen population. I don't know if anyone was aware, we hosted with District 3, we hosted a teen job fair about a month ago. Went very well. We had a lot of vendors out, a lot of teens that came out, but people are still actively hiring and looking for a career, looking for a job. So we're still going to provide that resource. We hope to plan another one in the fall. So if anyone has any feedback or any companies that are hiring, any organizations that work with teens, pass those along so we can discuss that in our meeting with Mr. Johnny Clark and Mr. George Oliver. All right, anyone else with any feedback? Mr. Rodney Jones is not on the meeting tonight for District 7, but if anyone had any citywide feedback, we could go to there. If not, we'll move on to our Parks Advisory Board project. Perfect. All right, last on our agenda today is just to discuss a Parks Advisory Board project. We're looking to start off as a beautification project. During our Juneteenth week, we hosted a community give back. Due to the weather, we didn't have as big of a turnout, but we've done a few community events over the pandemic that has brought out a lot of our residents who are just willing and wanting to give back. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to identify a park beautification project with our beautification team with the city of South Fulton. And we want our board to kind of lead this project once the area is identified and to see what we will do in the space, whether it's a cleanup, whether it's adding art to our parks, whether it's offering a service that day. But we have a lot of our community members that really want to get back out in the parks and get involved. We did a great cleanup with Councilman Rowell in District 1 at the Campbellton Nature Preserve that will be located right behind the Publix. We did a shredding event in District 2 with Cliftondale and Councilwoman Gumbs. We did the Feed South Fulton in District 3. In District 4, we did a cleanup of Cedar Grove Park and Wilkerson Mill Park. District 5, District 5 and District 6, we utilized our road barriers. Those were painted by some of our Girl Scouts, as well as a park cleanup. And in District 7, they did a food distribution. So we're looking for all different types of outreach events, but this event specifically will be for park beautification. So whether it's a cleanup, adding art, doing any type of service during that time, that's what that event will be shaped around. So once we select a date in an area, we'll work with the committee and with the board to identify a project that we'll work on together to be completed before the end of the fall. The goal is to complete it before or by our next meeting, which will be in October 6th. Okay, and beautification could be anything, adding edible landscaping to some of our parks, adding landscaping to some of our parks around the signage, creating pathways, creating trails, but we really want to promote that community aspect and get everyone involved on some of our community give back projects. And as we've been out in the community, this is something that everyone has kind of said that they want to start getting involved in. I think it's a great way for people to learn about our parks. And also, once you start giving back to your park, you take care of it because you've put in the effort and the work to kind of make sure that it stays thriving and beautiful. And that's what we really, really like to see. Do we have any other questions?
I have questions, but it's not around the beautification. Should I hold them to the end?
No,
You want me to hold them to the end?
No. Any questions right now is fine.
Okay. In D, I think, I'm pretty sure it's D2, but Butner Road, if you cross Camp Creek, to the right, if you're going toward Tail Road, on the right, there.
As soon as possible.
Okay,
My apologies,
Thank-
everyone.
that's
Wait.
okay.
Well, she's back if you want to pose the question again.
Okay. What I was saying, Ms. Payne, is it Ms. Payne? Did I get it right?
Yes.
Okay, great. I was saying that there's on Butner Road, if you're going toward Tail Road, on your right, there appears to be some type of nature walk or something to that effect. In my opinion, it looks a little scary because it's like you go down and then you can't see people anymore. But I've seen people go down, I've seen people come up from it. So my question is there any plans to make that more inviting? Because I do think that's a part of City of South Fulton. And then secondly, are there any talks about connecting, whether it's that trail or any other trail, to either Silver Comet or the Beltline, especially as the Beltline begins to move further and further south and west?
So to answer the first portion of the question, I'm not sure exactly which space or which trailhead that you're referring to that approaches Tail Road, but I'll go out there and kind of look at it. It's not a current trail that we are operating or monitoring, but I'll get with our GIS to confirm if that is our property. Second question is, yes, our Parks Master Plan will include a trail net plan, which will be a citywide trail system proposal. The goal is to connect our trails that we currently have within the city that are already existing to new trails down the road. This isn't something that will take place immediate, but the plan will be in place as soon as the Parks Master Plan is complete.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any questions or comments or anything to add before we entertain a motion to adjourn?
Hello, yeah, this is Terrence. I just want to say that Mr. Oliver and Mr. Clark, I did put in the chat my phone numbers where I can be reached, so you can call me and feel concerned.
Thank you so much, Terrence. Please reach out to Terrence. He put his number in the chat.
This George, I sure will.
Thank you. Terrence and Joy, do you have anything to add towards the end of the meeting before we conclude?
No, nothing from me. Thank you all so very much.
Well, everyone, this concludes our Parks Advisory meeting for today, July 6th. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Mr. Kelly. Do I have a second?
I second that
Second.
motion, John.
Second by Mr. Oliver. Our next Park Advisory Board meeting will be Tuesday, October 6th. Please stay on the lookout for some emails on our beautification project as we start working towards that. And then also some of our breakout meetings with Mr. Clark and Mr. Oliver to discuss adolescent and teen activities and programs, and Ms. Wanda to discuss a possible 5K in the spring of 2022. Thank you, everybody, for
Okay, great.
attending.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chapin.
Hold on 1 second before everyone pauses out. Hold on 1 second for me. All right, can I get ayes to adjourn the meeting and nays if you do not want to adjourn the meeting?
Aye, Ms. Barber.
Aye. Do we have an aye
Aye.
from everyone?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much. That closes our meeting. We look forward to seeing everyone on the next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.